So the story centers around a kid named Shep Mooney. He's easily scared and believes that there's a ghost living in his basement called Anna Lee, even though his family doesn't believe him. As you can imagine, when Shep's teacher, Mr. Hansen, plans an overnight trip for the class in the woods, Shep isn't too excited. When the bus arrives to pick Shep up, he's startled to see a ventriloquist dummy in the driver's seat, but it turns out to be a prank by Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen then explains that the dummy's name is Slappy, and he found him in his grandfather's attic. Mr. Hansen also read the magic words that bring Slappy to life, not believing they would actually work. To everyone's surprise, Slappy starts laughing and moving on his own and begins driving the bus. Mr. Hansen manages to grab Slappy and read the magic words again and turn Slappy back into a lifeless dummy. The class is all spooked, but they continue with the overnight trip anyways. Once they set up camp, Mr. Hansen lets the kids see Slappy since the dummy is no longer alive. When they go to look for Slappy though, they can't find him. The whole class is uneasy, but they make it through the night and back home without encountering the evil ventriloquist dummy. However, as Shep is unpacking his bag, he's surprised to find Slappy inside it. Shep realizes that his former friend turned enemy, Trevor, put Slappy into his bag as a mean prank. At first, Shep is unsure if Slappy's alive or not, but time passes and Slappy hasn't done anything, so Shep comes to the conclusion that Trevor didn't bring the dummy to life. Unfortunately, Shep's younger sister, Patty, sees the ventriloquist dummy and reads the magic words. With Slappy alive again, Shep realizes he has to get the dummy out of the house, but before he can leave, Shep is caught by his parents. They refuse to let him leave since it's late, so Shep decides to put Slappy in the garage. Still worried about him though, Shep begins looking everywhere for the slip of paper that has the words that can give Slappy life or take it away. He then realizes that it's probably in the pocket of Slappy's coat and heads back to the garage. When he gets there, Shep sees that the garage door is opened and Slappy is gone. At first, he's overjoyed, but realizes that the dummy will just terrorize other people and decides to go after him. Shep follows Slappy's footprints to a cemetery where he sees Slappy grinning at him. After some hesitation, Shep approaches Slappy. The dummy reveals that it was a test to see if Shep would follow. Since he passed, Slappy believes Shep would make for a good slave. Shep decides his only option is to fight Slappy, and the two begin brawling in the cemetery. Shep manages to grab a hold of Slappy and looks for the paper with the magic words, but Slappy doesn't have it. The dummy kicks Shep in the face to free himself and then shoves Shep into an open grave. When Shep opens his eyes, he sees Slappy standing on the edge of the grave, taunting him. With a quick burst of energy, Shep jumps high enough to grab Slappy's leg and pull him down. As this happens, Slappy's head hits a rock at the top of the grave. Slappy's body hits the ground and the dummy has a crack on his head. Shep shakes him, but Slappy doesn't move. It then sinks in that Shep has killed Slappy. He climbs out of the grave and buries Slappy, and just like that, the living dummy has become a dead dummy. Well, sort of. Shep goes to school the next day and sees Slappy hovering outside the window. No one else can see Slappy, which confirms that the ghost of Slappy is haunting Shep. Slappy starts tormenting Shep by throwing food at him during lunch and even tries to kill Shep by causing him to fall out of a window. Finally, Shep has enough and thinks that he needs to bring Slappy back to life in order to get rid of him. Shep returns to the grave, digs out Slappy's body, and takes him home. In his basement, Shep uses glue to fix the crack on Slappy's head. It does the trick, and Slappy is brought back to life, but immediately starts choking Shep. Just then, the ghost who's been haunting Shep's home, Anna Lee, appears and reveals that she needs to do a good deed in order to rest. She has the paper with the magic words that can put Slappy to sleep, but before Shep can grab it from her, Anna Lee rips it up. She decided to do a good deed for Slappy because Shep would always run away and scream at her, but Slappy didn't do that. Anna Lee disappears and leaves Shep alone with Slappy.